attorney. All you have to do is turn on the TV. At Wedemark Keith, we believe in doing things a little different. We believe in respecting our profession, dignity in advertising, and putting our clients first. And our track record, well, it speaks for itself. If you've been hurt in a car wreck or on the job, please give us a call. At Wedemark Keith, it's more to us. It's personal.
Sometimes riding in the car isn't enjoyable. Visit the Hemp House. We have a selection of 100% safe CBD pet products. Visit hemphousechad.com or come see us in person. The Hemp House in North Shore, East Ridge, and Ottawa.
TVFCU, a place for all of us.
Okay, we are having a good day on 3+U today. We are out at the Chattanooga Zoo, can you not tell, talking with Darty Long, and we've got George, Porter, and I don't know who's in the background, and George is very hungry and very persistent. Darty,
I know.
how much fun is this?
Well, it's a ton of fun. You should see the live. Hey, you know, I told you, it's all about food, and you have to understand that it's not about giraffes liking you or not liking you.
Hold on. Here's what you have to know, okay? We are, I don't know, I'm not a good judge of distance, 5 feet maybe off the ground?
5, 6
something
feet
like
off the
that.
ground, yeah.
So there are these boulders behind this fence here. And George and Porter their legs come all the way to the top of it. And then they can lean all the way over, probably a good 8 feet or more they're leaning into us. And then watch George's tongue as he tries. Oh, you can't decide now, can you?
There's a lot of pressure.
Look how long his tongue is.
Now, there's a reason.
There's
it's not just for
nothing they
kids.
can't reach.
Well, and that's a big help when you're trying to eat. I know, I see that. When you're trying to eat the leaves off the top of the trees, if you think about it in Africa, they compete with a lot of other animals.
Feeling left out.
Yeah, here, Porter. If you know George rules the roost when it comes to feeding, so he's definitely the alpha when it's about feed. Now, are you scared to touch that tongue?
I don't really want to touch his tongue.
You don't want to touch his tongue? We'll let you watch it. It's very slimy, of course. But he'll take that tongue, and actually, I can show you. Let me just lean down here and pick up. All right, let's take a break from the lettuce.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Now watch. We're going to let him reach out. He's going to grab those leaves, and then he's going to pull them off.
Look at him.
And that's how they do it in the wild, so they can literally feed off the tops of trees, which means they don't have a lot of competitors for that food up high. And here, of course, he has no competitors because he's just too darn cute.
Okay, let me ask you something. You know how a dog will eat all day? You want to give me the lettuce,
Yeah,
and you get the
slimy.
how a dog will eat all day if you'd let it?
Yeah.
Right? They'll just eat and eat and eat. Well, these guys just eat and eat and eat, or do they self-regulate?
I would say it's probably, I haven't ever seen them get really full. And when I first talked to their keepers here, they were telling us that it was really funny because I was like, are you sure they won't get full? And they're like, no. So I think it's a matter of browsing all day and eating stuff that's kind of low calorie like okay, you can have that.
Well, he had to finish what he was eating first.
Well, yeah, but then pretty soon he'll have like a cud thing that he's got chewing up here. They'll look like little chipmunk. Oh, you better hand it to him. He's going to say. Okay.
Are you going to spit it out at me?
No, he just wants it. There we go. I try to tell people, they're like, oh, they know you. I'm like, no, they know the food lady.
Okay, how long have we had the giraffes?
So they came right in the middle of the pandemic. They came in May of 2020. We finished building their exhibit, so that we got them just when we were able to reopen. So that was an amazing time for us. Unfortunately, and you can hear some jealous chimps in the background, that's noises you have to get used to if you're at the zoo. But it's really amazing what they've done for the zoo. Not only have they brought a beautiful species to our zoo, something that's very different than anything we had, and definitely an experience worth having. This is, oh goodness, yuck.
He just scares me. He's stealth with that thing.
Okay, I'm giving you that, and then I'm going to give you some of this.
Okay, I know that we're not talking much. We're just looking. Let me point out some things that I've noticed, because I've never been this close. I mean, I've been close up with a lot of animals, thanks to you. Clearly not a giraffe before. First of all, his eyelashes are so long.
The better to keep the dust and dirt out.
Is that what they're for?
Mm-hmm. And these are ossicones, not really horns exactly, but sort of. And they use them when they spar. In fact, they do something called necking, and you'll see them swaying and necking with each other. Yeah, you're going to run out.
I'm going to tease him.
You're going to tease him. If he gets mad and runs away, it'll be your fault.
But he has the one on his
He does. He has a couple
too.
of different places, and they're different. I see also Porter has one. Hardy Star. All right, we're going to go to what we call.
So is Porter older?
No, he's just a little bit different color. We think he's a hybrid with a couple of different species. Here you go.
But
Now, hold on
his
tight.
Asa things are his. I forgot he was going to keep on taking it.
Yes, he can definitely
He
do
almost
that.
got my hand. They're taller.
They are. They're a lot different, but we think he's part Rothschild's, and so that's just a subspecies of giraffe. Now hang on to it tight and make him pull. You tug of war with a giraffe, Julie. You lost.
I'll totally. Let me try again. People don't get to do this when they come to the zoo, do
Not
they?
with the browse, but yeah, they do. They can actually purchase tickets on weekends, and then right now I think it's Thursday through Sunday. But you can buy the lettuce leaves we have and come right out here and get this experience too.
Oh my gosh, you have to do that.
And it's one of the best experiences we have at the zoo because you're up close to an iconic animal that just gives you so many impressions. And you know, when we talk about saving giraffe in the wild, you won that one. Then we know people remember this. This is how we inspire them to care about animals because there's so much more than just a picture, you know, like a video that you see on TV or something like that.
Can any zoo have a giraffe, or do you have to meet certain criteria?
You definitely have to meet certain criteria. In fact, when we started planning for this, I think it was in 2017, one of the things we talked about, do we have enough space? And right now they have two separate areas, the one you see behind us and the one over on the east side of the zoo, which is they just walk through their barn to go out. We're also planning Africa too, which will give them even more space. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble.
So does that mean you'll keep you have 3?
We have 3, and whether we get any more or whether we get some hoof stock, like a gazelle or something like that to go in with them, we're not sure at this point. And this is a bachelor group. We weren't quite ready to
have
do any
multiple.
breeding. Well, and you know what's interesting is sometimes when you're doing breeding, you may have more males than you really need for the population to stay diverse. These guys are living together in an off exhibit area, for a breeding area down in New Orleans, Louisiana. And they weren't really being, you know, they weren't open to the public. So
Did they thrive with human interaction?
I guess
Hard
it kind
to
of depends.
tell.
I asked them, I said, they've got a lot more space down here in New Orleans. Are they going to be okay with us? She said, George will be at the front every day waiting on you guys to come out and
that's
play with
true,
him. And
Georgie.
it's true. He loves it. He's a superstar. And Hardy Star is learning too. He's coming up and taking lettuce from his staff. It just takes time, and we're still waiting on Porter to go to outside in the other pasture. It's been there for a year. That's how patient you have to be with giraffes.
So did they fight?
They spar, and that's part of that necking, I see, buddy, that you see when you come up sometimes and they're swaying, standing next to each other and doing this number. They sometimes will be, they're necking, and that's just play fighting, but they will do that in the wild to show dominance. I mean, there has to be a top dog.
Do you, any time of the year when you come to the zoo, will you see the giraffes?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking. When we started designing this, we realized that it's too cold for giraffe to be out a lot of the year here. And so what we decided to do was build this really awesome barn that you can walk into. So you can actually go right around the front of this building, walk in and see all of their stalls. They have what we call kind of a play area where they can come into the front, and you can see them right inside every day that we're open.
But in terms of feeding them,
You can't do it in there.
You can't
Not
do it
yet.
in there.
I'm working on that. I'm working
Okay.
on a design to do that. So you can't.
Look, he's such a
He's done. He's like, if you're not gonna- if you're just going to stand there and talk. Did I? Oh, here, buddy. I'm sorry. I left. You know.
He's
it has to be all about this. There you go.
I think
You
he
can
must
get-
be a teenage boy.
Well, he is actually 8, but their lifespan's 20s, and a lot of it depends on hoof care. Our keeper that you met just a few minutes ago, Amy, has trained him to put his foot up on a block so that she can file his toes.
Wow.
It's really important to keep those legs.
Okay, talk about that. I've got maybe a minute left.
It's
But
really-
the staffing. I want to talk about the staffing that you have here because they are loved all day long, these animals.
They are. You know, welfare is something that is important, and in order to even be an accredited zoo, which we are, you have to show, not just say, but show and document how much you're doing for welfare to make sure they have enrichment. You'll see these funny little ball things hanging up around buckets with holes drilled in them. That's why he has to stick his tongue in to get the food, and that's just to make him work harder because in the wild, his natural behavior would be to feed all day. So we work hard, and our
And his
staff-
mind wouldn't stay sharp
No.
if he didn't have to work for it a little
No,
bit.
exactly. He'd get bored and exhibit those behaviors. Although I don't think George is really bored, but sometimes if they they'll have to up his enrichment, make sure he's happy. He's not. Now, see, remember when I told you about when you're out of lettuce?
Yeah,
you're
he's
out
a
of love.
fickle friend.
Yes, he is a very fickle friend.
It's fascinating. I mean, I had my back to the camera the whole time, and I'm sorry, but I don't really care. That was the
It was about
coolest
them.
thing, Darty.
Isn't it amazing? And I'm so happy that we're able to do this for Chattanooga. And you know what? We just did a survey with UTC. We're seeing a lot of out-of-town guests that say the reason they're coming to Chattanooga is for the zoo.
That is
And I kinda
very
like
good.
that. Kinda
Listen,
proud of that.
I've been coming to the zoo since we moved here 24 years ago, and
wow.
I think they're a great example, the giraffes, of
Yes.
how there's always something new,
Yes.
and that it's a community zoo. The community wanted these giraffes. The community helped you get
Paid
them
for the giraffe,
here.
that's right.
And now we get to reap the benefits of that
We
and watch
do.
it continue to grow.
Stay tuned for warthogs.
For who?
Warthogs.
Okay.
Phase 2 Africa.
We will stay tuned.
Warthogs.
Stay tuned for Porter. He's coming up behind
Is Porter
you.
coming behind me?
How fun is
Oh,
this?
hey, sweetheart.
We're back after this.
We want you to be a part of the Local 3 team. Come grow your career as a marketing specialist, helping local businesses and our local